Hey, what is up guys? Joseph here, and it is that time of the year again where we look ahead to the next year. This is my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2017. This list, the top 10 most anticipated movies of 2017, is without a doubt, no question, the hardest list I have ever done. I started off this list looking ahead to next year with at least 25. I'm not sure if it was more, but I know it was at least 25. And I had to get it down to 13 movies. Top 10 and 3 honorable mentions. And it sucked that I had to kick out several movies that I am looking forward to, but they're just these movies I'm looking forward to more than the ones I kicked off. But oh well, whatever. Go ahead and get into it.
Number 10.
John Wick 2. I was talking to Noah. You guys may remember him. Oh, he's a friend of mine that was on this channel. We used to film, I don't know how many videos, but I don't remember if we talked about it on camera or not, but I remember he told me to check out the first John Wick. And before that, I thought it was this predictable and just not really a good movie. The typical cliche action movie. Then I watched it, and it pretty much is predictable, but it's so fun and off the wall that I forgive it.
Number 9.
Now, number 9, when I was creating this list, I kept going back and forth between John Wick being number 9. I eventually came to the decision that Kingsman 2, the Golden Circle, I believe is the subtitle. Kingsman, if you have not seen it, coming from somebody who doesn't really like spy movies, this movie is by far my favorite of the whole genre. That was one of my favorite movies that came out 2015, right up there with Force Awakens. It was a surprise to me that I actually ended up liking it as much as I did.
Number 8.
I know I'm gonna get hate for this. I know it. I see the comments right now. My number 8 is Justice League. Go ahead, bring on the hate. I know it's coming. Justice League is my least anticipated comic book movie. It's still anticipated. I'm still looking forward to it. I honestly I'm starting to lose faith in Zack Snyder. I mean, the only movie that I've liked of his is 300. Other than that, I didn't care for Watchmen. Batman v Superman, y'all know I was disappointed with. Man of Steel, no. Sucker Punch, go away. Well, what are others he's freaking made? I don't know. But 300 is the only movie that I've liked of his, and that was about 10 years. I want to say it came out in 06. But that's the only movie that I liked of his. I'm still looking forward to it. I'm gonna watch it. It's Batman, it's Cyborg, Flash, Aquaman, Wonder Woman. It's superheroes. I'm gonna watch it. I'm still looking forward to it. Justice League is my number 8. Probably a lot of controversy over that one though, but whatever.
Number 7.
Another comic book movie that I'm hoping it is as good as Marvel is projecting it to be, and that being Thor Ragnarok. The reason Thor is higher than Justice League is because I have faith in Marvel. Marvel has never really had one misstep, really, for me, well, except Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 was by far the biggest disappointment of the entire franchise. Iron Man 2, I rewatched it. It's not as bad as I had previously thought. Thor 2, I rewatched it. It was okay. It wasn't the worst of the bunch. Iron Man 3 is the worst because I was disappointed with the Mandarin. The Incredible Hulk, I actually did like. I know a lot of people don't. Age of Ultron was disappointing, but it wasn't nearly as disappointing as Iron Man 3. But anyways, Thor Ragnarok is said to be the Winter Soldier of the Thor trilogy. I'm hoping that because the Winter Soldier really sold Captain America as a badass, I'm hoping Thor Ragnarok does the same thing that Captain America the Winter Soldier did to Captain America.
Number 6.
War for the Planet of the Apes. Now, if you have not seen these movies, check them out. Even if you haven't seen the originals, because I have, and they're not as good as people are making them out to be. I'm sorry. I know I'm probably the minority with that one, but they just don't hold up for me anyways. I respect it the way that famous plot twist with, spoiler alert, that the planet of the Apes is actually Earth, with the Statue of Liberty ending plot twist in the original, whatever you, I'm going to try to guess. I'm really looking forward to War of the Planet of the Apes. It should be good.
Number 5.
Now, I may be in the minority for this one, I don't know, but I'm actually looking forward to Wonder Woman more than I am Justice League. Wonder Woman is my number 5, and the reason why I was talking about DC not really being good as of the Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was by far my favorite of the two. That's not really saying much, because Suicide Squad is not a good movie, but it's entertaining. Batman v Superman was, I hate to say it, I may be in the minority, but boring to me, pretty much. The reason why I have Wonder Woman higher than Justice League is because, like I said earlier, I don't really have that much faith in Zack Snyder anymore, because the last movie I saw of his that I liked was 300. But Wonder Woman isn't directed by Zack Snyder, it's directed by Patty Jenkins, however you want to say her last name. I'm hoping that she can direct. I know she directed the Monster with Charlize Theron, but she directed Monster. I've heard good things about it. I haven't seen it personally, but I have more faith in Wonder Woman than I have in Justice League. Being that Wonder Woman is directed by an unknown director rather than Zack Snyder. I know I'm going to get a whole lot of hate for that. Zack Snyder, I'm sorry, Zack Snyder is not a good director. He is amazing with the visuals and everything like that, but when it comes to storytelling, no. Have Zack Snyder do some, instead of being a director, have him do like visual effects or something. I'm sorry, he's not a good storyteller. I'm sorry. Me personally, I don't like him. But whatever. Wonder Woman, I'm really looking forward to.
Number 4.
This one may be higher on my other people's list. I can see why, but for me, it's number 4, and that is Logan. Logan, me personally, I just didn't like that trailer. The trailer wasn't what I was expecting. That might be a better way to put it. I have a feeling, and there's rumors going around on the internet, I know, but with when I watched that trailer for the first time, the trailer looked like Wolverine was going to die in this movie. Whether he does or not, him and Professor X. Whether they do or not, I don't know. I can see it happening. I hate it, but it is what it is. This is Hugh Jackman's last movie as Wolverine, and I believe Patrick Stewart's last time as Professor X. I don't want to see either of them go, but I understand it. But it is what it is, and we'll just have to deal with it, and hopefully when they recast Wolverine, it'll be as good as Hugh Jackman.
Number 3.
Now, number 3 and number 2. I said it earlier with John Wick and Kingsman 2 were fighting for number 9. My number 3 and number 2 were fighting for the number 2 spot. I had to rethink it. I don't know how many times. I'm looking forward to these two movies pretty much exactly the same level, but right now, as it stands where I'm filming this video, Spiderman Homecoming is my number 3. Spider-Man was by far my favorite part about Civil War. Tom Holland is the Spider-Man. Even after I think he had like 20 minutes of screen time, Tom Holland is the Spider-Man. I think I said that in the review that Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man we've had, but before Civil War, I've always said that Tobey Maguire was the better Peter Parker, Andrew Garfield was the better Spider-Man. Tom Holland is the combination that we wanted from both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Like, I have mixed feelings about Vulture being the villain. I've always looked at Vulture being like this comedic B-list villain. I don't know that much about him, really. I could be wrong, and they just proved me wrong, but we'll have to see. But they got Michael Keaton playing him. Probably my opinion will change after I see the movie, and I'll say Michael Keaton was great as Vulture, but as of right now, I don't see the point of having Vulture in the movie as the villain of the movie, the main villain of the movie. Me personally, I would rather have Kraven, because I know there were lots of rumors going around that it was Kraven. and the movie would be Kraven's Last Hunt. And I read that comic. I want that movie. If you guys have not read that comic, I highly suggest it. I'm not going to spoil anything that happens in it, but it's worth the read. Trust me.
Number 2.
After going back and forth between this and Spider-Man Homecoming being my number 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is my number 2. That trailer, I really don't know who I like more. Whether it's Drax or Baby Groot. Because them two had the best parts about the entire trailer, and I don't know who I like. I can see both of them still in the movie. The trailer didn't really give that much away. It teased that this movie will be as funny as the first one. And the first one is one of my favorite MCU movies I was talking about earlier with the Avengers and Captain America Winter Soldier. Guardians of the Galaxy is up there. I didn't appreciate it the first time I saw it as a film, but I rewatched it a couple of weeks ago, and it's a whole lot better than what I thought. In the end, where Star-Lord and Gamora and Drax and Rocket are holding the Infinity... Well, Star-Lord is holding the Infinity Stone. Gamora, Drax, and Rocket have their hands on him so they kind of get that power. I thought it was stupid. Because earlier in the movie, a group of people grabbed the Infinity Stone, everybody died. And then later on, it shows Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, and Rocket all together holding that stone. I didn't understand how they lived through it. And then I didn't catch this the first time I watched it. It's said that his dad was part of a race that is immune to the power to die from the stone. From the stone. He still can die, but not from the holding the stone.
Number 1.
Now my number 1 was no question Star Wars Episode 8. I loved The Force Awakens. I know a lot of people were saying, oh, it's the same thing as A New Hope. Really? See, most fans are so hard to please. The originals, classics. Then the prequels came. Everybody hated them. I did too. But when you say that the prequels didn't have the magic of the originals, when you say that it wasn't as entertaining as the originals, when you say it didn't have any lightsaber battles. By the way, the prequels had more lightsaber battles than the originals did. The originals had 3 lightsaber battles. Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader, Luke versus Vader on Cloud City, and Luke versus Vader in the Death Star. Or not Death Star, on frickin' Endor. Those are the only 3 lightsaber battles in the entire originals. Prequels, I'm not even gonna count how many freaking lightsaber battles the prequels had. So on that front, prequels win. Yeah, come at me. I'm not saying the prequels are good movies. Don't get me wrong, they're not. But when you say that the originals have more lightsaber battles, more entertaining, better movies, all that stuff, they were different. They were different movies from the originals, and everybody hated them. Then Force Awakens, and yeah, there's some parts that pretty much are exactly like the New Hope, the original Star Wars back in 1977. When they do that, everybody picks on it and says it's the exact same. So when the prequels do something different, everybody hates them. And when The Force Awakens does, I can see why people say it, does the same thing. I don't really think so, because it had so many different plot points, but whatever. For the sake of this little rant, it had the same plot. Everybody hates it. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Prequels do something different, everybody hates it. Force Awakens do the same thing, everybody hates it. There's no pleasing. Make up your mind. Do you want something different, or do you want the same thing? Okay, ran over. But Star Wars Episode 8, I am really looking forward to. Luke is finally going to be a part of this movie. I mean, I did see though that cliffhanger coming. I didn't want it to, but I kind of understand. But at the same time, I didn't want that movie to. I didn't want that movie to end. Nobody really knows. We haven't really seen that much except for like that clip. Well, not really a clip, but like behind the scenes footage type deal where they announced they're filming the movie. I think it was like a couple of weeks after that Force Awakens came out, they released it. Episode 8, it doesn't have a title right now. Star Wars Episode 8 is my number 1. Some honorable mentions, 3 honorable mentions. Lego Batman. When this movie was announced, I was not expecting the trailer to be as entertaining and funny as it has been. By the way, with these movies, if they have a trailer out right now, I'll put them in the description below. You guys can check them out if you want to. But Lego Batman I don't think it's going to be a great movie, but it's going to be entertaining. I can't really see it being like, well, the Lego movie was good enough to talk about being nominated for an Oscar for Best Animated. So, I mean, I'm not putting it against those Lego movies, because I love the Lego movie. I'm really tempted just to say okay to any movie like Legos. Like some movies, I don't see how they're gonna make. Like they were talking about an Emoji movie. I don't know if they are finalized on making that Emoji movie. I don't see how they're going to. I don't see how Pez could be a movie. I know they talked about that. I don't know if that's been finalized. If it has, comment down below and let me know, because I'm actually curious. I mean, that Lego movie, when it was announced, nobody wanted it. Everybody thought it was a stupid move and not going to be any good. And the Lego movie was probably my favorite animated movie that came out that year. I may have to check out what came out that year, but Lego movie definitely is up there. If not, my number 1 of that animated movie of that year. Second honorable mention is Kong Skull Island. With Kong Skull Island, this was close to being on the list, the top 10. Without being an honorable mention, it would have been on the top, it would have been number 10. But me personally, I'm looking forward to John Wick 2 more. But Kong Skull Island, the trailer, I heard good things about the trailer before I watched it. It wasn't as good as I had hoped. Not saying it was bad or anything. Maybe I just got my expectations too high for that trailer. Kind of like I did with Batman v Superman. I'm just adding fuel to the fire right now. But Kong Skull Island looks better than the freaking Peter Jackson movie. And the third and final honorable mention is Beauty and the Beast. Now, I watched the trailer. It does look like it's going to be a shot-for-shot remake of the original classic Disney movie. I have mixed feelings about that. I don't want them to, but I don't want them to. It's kind of a hard thing to explain with these Disney live adaptations of their classic animated movies, but I don't want them to do like a shot-for-shot remake of a Disney classic, but I don't want them to stray far away from the source material. Like the Jungle Book. Jungle Book is a good example. It wasn't a shot-for-shot remake of the original cartoon, but it paid respect to the original. Cinderella I haven't seen, but I've heard good things about it, so I really can't say anything. Maleficent is probably my least favorite of the entire live adaptations of the Disney movies. Well, I don't know, Alice in Wonderland's up there too. But Maleficent has that title of being one of the worst Disney live adaptations just because they try to make one of, I'm not sure if it's the best, but it's definitely one of, if not the best, Disney villain of all time. A hero. I'm not saying it was a bad idea. It couldn't be done because it has been done before, but it's the way they did it. It was stupid to me that they made her this romantic interest of the king, Stefan. Me personally, I didn't like it. I don't know how I could have done it better or anything like that. I just didn't like the execution or anything like that. But and plus they made her freaking, instead of the Prince Philip being the one to awaken Sleeping Beauty from the curse, they made Maleficent. That was probably my biggest problem about the movie. First, it's the rain on the freaking Star Wars prequels. Now it's a rain on Maleficent. Anyways, Beauty and the Beast. I am looking forward to it, and we'll see what happens with these movies. That's it for this video. What did you guys think of my list? Did I leave anything out? Comment down below. Let me know. And if you want to subscribe, I do top 10s and Walking Dead reviews, Game of Thrones reviews, trailer reactions. If any of those things interest you, and I'm planning on doing some new stuff in the future, I don't want to really say right now just in case it doesn't really work out. I got several things on my channel. Go check it out. And as always, like me on Facebook at JMash97. Follow me on Twitter at JMash97. Links in the description below. Mash out.